In 2013, 7 young men from a label nobody had heard of released a song. They weren't singing about a girl. They weren't singing about heartbreak. They were singing about a system, a real, documented, government backed system that was quietly destroying an entire generation of children. And they did it ranging from 15 to 20 years old, most still in their teens. The youngest was 15. The song was N.O. And today we're going line by line, verse by verse, through every member. I'm going to show you why this song, from a group nobody was paying attention to yet, was one of the most courageous things any artist released that year. Not just in K-pop, in music, period. Let's get into it. Before we touch a single lyric, you need to understand what this song was pushing back against. Because if you don't know the context, you'll hear N.O. as a fun school rebellion song, and you'll miss everything. Here's the reality. South Korea has one of the most academically intense education systems on the planet. The entire country's social structure, your career, your income, who you marry, your family's reputation, runs through one single test. It's called the Suneung, an 8-hour college entrance exam that students spend their entire childhood preparing for. And I mean that literally. Students arrive at school at 7 a.m. and don't go home until past midnight. The cycle is school, home, cram school, sleep, repeat. Dreams, hobbies, creative interests, those get treated as distractions. On the day of Suneung, South Korea goes quiet. Flights are banned from Korean airspace during the English listening portion of the test. Not rescheduled, banned. So no airplane noise can break a student's concentration. Police motorcades escort late students to testing centers. The nation stops. Now, here's what the pressure was producing. Studies around that time showed academic stress was a major driver of youth mental health crisis in South Korea. With high rates of self-deletion ideation, 1 in 4 students in some surveys reporting thoughts of self-deletion. And academic pressure directly linked to roughly 12% of adolescents self-deletion in the country. South Korea had one of the highest youth self-deletion rates amongst all OECD nations. These are not statistics about a faraway problem. BTS worthy students. RM has spoken about this from his own life. He was a top student in the system, someone who scored in the upper tier nationally, who walked away from that path to become a rapper at an agency nobody believed in. When he wrote this song, he was writing from inside the experience, not looking at it from a distance. The title of the song, N.O., officially stands for no offense, a polite phrase. But they took that polite phrase and flipped it into a direct rebellion. What it actually means is just that word, no, said directly to the system. Young men ranging from 15 to 20 on a small label saying no in public on television in 2013. That is the level of intention that we are working with here. The song was released September 11, 2013, as the lead single from BTS's first EP, O exclamation point RUL 8, comma 2 question mark, which itself is a question. Are you late too? As in, are you already behind? Have you already fallen short of what was expected? That EP title alone is doing something. It's speaking directly to the student who had been told that they're not enough. NO was produced by P-Dog and written by RM and P-Dog. The choreography was by Sun Sunduk. The music video was directed by Zanny Bros. The music video concept, a dystopian classroom set in the future. White walls, military uniform teachers, high-tech desks that project equations directly onto the surface. Students are given a red pill at the start of the class, a literal pharmaceutical used to suppress their individual will and make them compliant. That's not subtle. That's an entire argument of the song made visual in the first 30 seconds. But there's details in the color design that most people miss completely. And we're going to come back to that. The song opens with not a rap or a vocal, it opens with a question. Stop right there. Sky is just not a sky. Sky is an acronym. It stands for Seoul National University, Korea University, and Yonsei University, the three most prestigious universities in South Korea, the ones that determine everything: career, income, marriage prospects. So when BTS opens this song with To the Sky, they aren't being poetic. They are naming the specific target every student in South Korea is told to aim for from childhood. And then immediately they ask, will they actually make anyone happy? That's the entire thesis of the song delivered in 2 lines before the verse even starts. That is the same structural move we saw in Black Swan. The hook contains the whole argument. The rest of the song is just proof. The production underneath this opening is doing the work too. The beat is hard, but there's a tension underneath it. Brass that sounds like a school bell turning into a war drum. The rhythm is mechanical. It mimics what the lyrics are describing: a machine, an assembly line. That sound is intentional. Suga is 20 years old when he records this. He grew up in Daegu, not Seoul, a city that doesn't carry the same prestige in Korean society. He knows what it means to be told the path you're on is the wrong one. He almost walked away from music entirely as a teenager because of family pressure. When he says dreams are gone, that's not a metaphor. Notice what he names as the entire world of a Korean student: school, house, PC, room. That's it. No parks, no art, no music, no space to become anything other than a test score. Then comes the line: who is the one who made us into studying machines? This is that Martha Graham moment of the song. This is the cold, open question that carries the whole weight of everything that follows. In Korean, Sugar delivers this as a direct accusation without naming the accused. He leaves it open. The parents, the government, the culture, all of them. The fact that there's no single answer named is the point. The machine has no one driver. Everyone built it together. Everyone benefits from it. And the students are the only ones paying the cost. The choreography here is matching the lyric almost surgically. The members move in perfect unison: mechanical, identical, robotic. They're literalizing the word machine with their bodies. That is architecture. That is a creative team that knows exactly what they're doing. RM was a straight A student. He scored in the top tier of South Korea nationally. He gave that up to become a rapper at an agency nobody believed in. So when he raps number one or dropout, he is speaking from inside the system he's describing, not looking at it from the outside. The phrase, they trapped us in borders, the adults, is worth sitting with. In Korean, the word used creates an image of a fence, a coral, like livestock, like the future is a field with only two exits: success or failure, and no other land exists. Then he says, there's no choice but to consent. That line is doing something specific. He's not saying the students want this. He's saying the system is structured so that the resistance looks insane. You can see the trap and still not be able to get out of it, because the cost of refusing is social exile. Your parents, your family, everyone you love has been inside the system so long, they can't see it anymore. RM's delivery here is different from Sugar's. Where Sugar sounds exhausted, like he's reporting facts from inside the machine. RM sounds furious, controlled fury, like someone who has thought about this too much for too long. That contrast between the two rappers is intentional, and it makes the song dimensional. This is where the song becomes a rally. Everything before the chorus was diagnosis. Here is the problem. Here is the machine. Here is what it costs. The chorus is the prescription. Say no out loud together. And this is the moment to acknowledge who's delivering that chorus. Jen, Jimin, V, and JK. The vocal line carry the emotional weight here. Where the rap line gave you the argument, the vocal line makes you feel it. Their voices together on that note aren't aggressive. They're heartbroken and defiant at the same time. That combination is what makes it land. The hands up moment in the choreography is one of the most recognizable moves in the early BTS catalog. And it matters because raising your hand in a Korean classroom means asking permission. Here, they've taken that gesture, one of submission, one of asking to be recognized, and turned it into a fist raised in defiance. The same movement, completely inverted meaning. That is not an accident. That is a creative team that understands symbolism. All seven voices land on that no together. It's not one person's refusal, it's collective. You can't single out the rebellious one and punish him if they're all standing together. J Hope's verse is where the song shifts from anger to something more dangerous, clarity. That last line is the hinge of the entire song. That is not a dream. That is someone else's dream. RM set up the anger. Suga named the machine. J Hope lands the actual philosophical argument. The system isn't just cruel, it's a theft. The students aren't even being told to chase their own ambitions. They're being handed someone else's definition of success and told it belongs to them. J Hope is known as the member with the most outward brightness and performance energy. Hearing him deliver this with that controlled, pointed directness, not performing happiness, not performing anything, is a deliberate artistic choice. He's the one who names the lie, and he does it with the calm of someone who's already seen through it. His delivery here foreshadows exactly what he would do 7 years later in Black Swan, finding a turning point of a song and carrying it with precision. He has always been the one who carries the turn, and he never shied away from it either. We need to go back to the visual because there is a detail almost nobody talks about. The classroom walls are white. The teachers' uniforms are white. The desks are white. Everything representing authority in the system is pure white. BTS wears dark uniforms. In Korean visual culture and in design language of this video specifically, white represents authority, purity, the official version of things, the correct path, the approved future. And BTS can't reach it. They're surrounded by it. They're being told to become it, but they are visually, literally separated from it by the color of what they wear. Then there's the red pill. At the start of class, the teacher gives each student a red pill. It's designed to suppress individuality, manufacture compliance, keep students focused on the equations being projected at them, the system's maintenance drug. JK is the first one it doesn't work on, and he's 15 years old, the youngest member, the Magne. And in this video, he's the spark. Watch what the music video does in that moment. When the pill falls in JK, there's a flash inside his mind, a vision of himself in casual clothes outside the system, free. That's not random editing. That's the suppressed self breaking through. The pill was supposed to kill that image, and it couldn't. He clenches his fist. The teacher sees it and flinches. That is the moment the system cracks. And it cracks in the youngest one first. The rest of the members wake up from there. They don't just walk out, they fight their way out, literally. And when they reach the outside world, the barren landscape beyond the school, the teachers chase them. The system doesn't release you easily, but they keep going. Here's what NO proved. This was not a group that stumbled into meaningful music. This was not a group that got deep once they got famous and had something to say. This was the second song they ever released, their second. And they were already asking, who made us into machines? The courage required to release this in 2013 on a small label is something that gets erased by hindsight. BTS was nobody. They had no protection. There was no army of millions to defend them. They just said the thing directly with their names on it. And the thing that they said was true. The statistics backed it up. The lives of Korean students backed it up. RM's own childhood backs it up. Here's the through line. I want you to carry through this whole series. In 2013, NO asked, who made us into machines? Directed outward at a system. In 2020, Black Swan asked, what if I've become a machine? Directed inward at themselves. From outward rebellion against the system to inward honesty about their own transformation. The target changed. The honesty never did. That's BTS. And here's what I need you to know before the next video. This wasn't even where it started. The rebellion started even earlier with their first song. Next video, we're going to No More Dream, the debut, the song that came before NO. And I'm going to show you that courage wasn't something that they built up to. It was there from day one. Go watch the NO music video tonight if you haven't. Pay attention to when the pill stops working. Pay attention to what color everyone is wearing. And drop in the comments which verse hit the hardest. Suga's exhaustion, RM's fury, J-Hope's clarity. And let me know which song or era you want me to go deeper on next. Like, comment, subscribe, and go ahead and hit that hype button so that people can become aware of these videos as well. We are the Rotten Rose family. I appreciate every single one of you. Not a comment goes unnoticed. Thank you for watching. It's your boy RottenRoseQ, and I'm out of here.